All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. We're going to see for its local search, Haymarket, Virginia looks like, and for its city search, let's see if it has BSS for either of them. We're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city, utilizing our North Star as always, FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, check the pinned post, home video, wherever you're at. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. And if someone's bringing in, their boudoir photography business is rising, they're probably bringing in peeps from the left side, the highest intent, all the way to the right side, the lowest intent. Peeps all coming in, or at least becoming aware of their business. And if a boudoir photography business is falling, more than likely, some chunk here along this intent spectrum is missing. We're missing out on those people. So over on the left, we got the highest intent people. That's what we're talking about here with these videos, talking about BSS. These are people, social search on social media, and Google search for like boudoir photographers in their city or boudoir photo shoots in their city. And highest intent people, closest to the money, highest conversion. And over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps, and it's actually going to be the highest volume of people. And we're talking about those on our sister brand called Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. We're talking about BLCS, kind of a niche problem there. And currently, we're only working with boudoir photographers over there, running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, on to BSS, boudoir search sameness. So this one, a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So 0 slots on page 1, I mean, we're on page 2 or deeper. I mean, we're dead. At that point, we're dead because we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never make it to page 2. So the people searching never even click to go to page 2. They are page 1 searches only, page 1 searchers only. As a result, this is who we got to get in front of. This is who we care about. We don't care about the 20%. They're going 10 pages deep. Don't care. We care about the 80%, the bulk of the market. So 0 slots, no bueno. 1 slot, also no bueno, because, there's 10 organic slots on page 1. If there's 9 other boudoir photographers, it's basically, 1 slot for each. And guess what? A buyer, everyone looks the same. Buyer's just going to be clicking down through. And, basically price shopping everyone, price comparing everyone, driving the price into the ground. So, we're not even seen as anything special. We got 1 slot on page 1. Buyers don't see much of a difference between us and the other peeps. So it's literally like, we got BSS, we got a problem. And that's because 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. Common, yes. Accepted, yes. Not normal, no. It is not normal to have so few number of page 1 links on Google. It's accepted, but it's not normal. This is actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes are 1, market saturation, and 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. Basically, everyone knows what market saturation is. Seems like every week someone's getting a new iPhone, throwing out their Google My Business profile, throwing out their website saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, competing with us for page 1, ranking on page 1. And then, or someone getting a new camera and then they're posting in the mom Facebook groups that they now do boudoir photo shoots as well. So that's market saturation. Also, big market saturation during COVID. A lot of people lost their jobs, couldn't work, couldn't earn money, but still need to earn money. And guess what? Everyone's got a smartphone with a great camera on it. So very easy for tons of boudoir photographers to enter the market, which means an increase in supply, increase in sellers. For the same number of buyers, demand remains the same. And guess what? We are making it hard for every buyer or every seller to get buyers if there's more sellers than the same number of buyers. And the biggest thing, though, here's number 2, the false belief of page 1 equality. So this false belief, page 1 equality, is when people incorrectly believe that, every boudoir photographer gets either, 0 or 1 slots on page 1, and when they, basically when they, a new boudoir photographer comes in, maybe they're on page 1, originally they're on page 1, a new boudoir photographer gets ranked above, then they get kicked off to page 2, and they're thinking, oh, that's simply how it is, hopefully that person deletes their website, maybe Google will put me back on page 1. So it's basically this acceptance that there's not really much that can be done. No, incorrect, false. I know this for a fact. Google will actually give as many page 1 slots to any boudoir photographer who wants to put in the work to acquire them without paying for Google ads. And I know that because I actually went from 0 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google to 9 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google in 10 days using this new methodology that I invented. So false belief, page 1 inequality. The first thing is realize it's false, and we actually can take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want, which kind of like punches through kind of this brain box we were in. It allows us to see outside. Oh, and outside we do have one solution finally coming up in 2 pictures. But right now, we know that boudoir photographer BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So yeah, if we got 0 slots on page 1, we're disappearing. because approximately 80% of the marketplace that searches on Google ain't never finding us on page 2 or deeper. Also, for page 1 slot on Google Map, or I mean Google Organic, we're basically looking the same as everyone else. Going to be price shopped with like 9 other boudoir photographers, driving margins down, and just really screwing everything up for us. So disparate boudoir photographer, it's when they have BSS, and that's because it's the canary in the coal mine. This is the first sign, kind of the first flag that eventually the boudoir photography business will be disappearing down the line as well. But luckily, we now have the solution. So we know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology, and we know this because we invented it and we've already used it for ourselves. Now, S-cubed methodology, that's exactly what it said. It's exactly its name, social search saturation. We're going to saturate social search with the highest intent keywords, buyer keywords. So we pop up there. So buyer search there, find us first. It's kind of like the backside, the small streams, the small rivers of the backside of the Andes Mountains in South America. And these all flow into the large Amazon River. The large Amazon River is Google page 1. So if we successfully social search saturate, then we'll be rewarded with as many slots on page 1 of Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And as a result, we actually it's actually the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that's able to stave off and actually allow boudoir photography business to continue to grow without, even in the face of market saturation, even in the face of massive market saturation. Now, the only other thing that could do this is brand, but that takes like 5 to 10 years to, assemble. We ain't got that time anymore. AI is coming to take people's jobs. We literally got to get maximum distribution, kind of maximum digital land grab now, ASAP. And so, for key methodology, outcompeting market saturation, allowing us to continue to grow, even in the face of it. Let's say we're in Chicago, there's a million boudoir photographers. Everyone's got a website center boudoir photographer, all trying to rank page 1 on Google, and we are saying, okay, the only way for us to successfully compete is we got to crank S-cubed methodology to the max. That's exactly what we do. We saturate social search with the highest intent keywords, and we take like the first 300 slots across all social networks for, let's say for those highest intent keywords. Now, let's also say this now flows onto Google, the Amazon River, and we're taking the first 300 organic slots, Google organic search for those keywords as well. And every page on Google is 10 organic slots. So we're basically working on, taking over 30 first 30 pages of Google. So essentially for anyone to find our competitors, they literally got to scroll 300 places on social search or Google search. They got to go to page 31 on Google search. And dude, if approximately 20% of peeps are going to a Google page 2, basically ain't no one going to Google page 31. And so whenever a buyer searches their high intent buyer keywords, then what happens is we show up everywhere, and basically kicked all of our competitors out of the building. So even though there's a million boudoir photographers in Chicago, whose business is growing? Ours, because we cranked S-cubed methodology to the max, took over all the search real estate, social search, Google search, for the first 300 slots. And like our business growing, everyone else disappeared. They're disappearing. They can't successfully compete with us. And so again, this is why I said it's the only, and this happens a lot faster than brand. That's why I said it's the only thing I've seen that can successfully outcompete market saturation and continue to grow with boudoir photography business. That doesn't require ads, because ads, their momentum goes to zero once you stop spending. S-cubed methodology has a momentum to it. It's not infinity momentum, but it's way more momentum than zero momentum once you stop spending on it. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility, a bonus, kind of an initial benefit. Getting more slots on Google. We're also kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1 of Google, effectively making them invisible. They're relegated to page 2 or deeper, and we already know approximately 80% of boudoir or of Google searches never even reach page 2. They're page 1 searchers only. So we're kicking them 4 out of the 5 buyers, ain't even gonna see them. So that's an initial benefit. In addition to us getting more slots, we're getting price shopped against way less people because 4 out of 5 boudoir searchers ain't going to page 2 anyway. Approximately 4 out of 5. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where we actually want to, this is where our GBC recommended, we want to hit, GBC recommends a minimum of 3 out of 10 Google page 1 slots. So 3 out of 10. And as a result, We feel like that's where we can comfortably say, all right, well, most likely at least treading water here, maintaining, most likely not disappearing. And the highest probability is we're actually growing the business once we're getting 3 out of 10. And 3 out of 10, if everyone else is one slot, man, a Boudoir buyer seeing us with 3, they're gonna be like, why does Google keep recommending this person over and over and over again? They may only click us and not even click any of our competitors on that search. And then there's always a tiny, tiny, tiny chance someone will have 2 slots. So if we get the 3 out of 10 slots, we're good. It's basically like, you know, basically like if we get 3 out of 10, we're basically dominating 99.9% of all cases. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So it's our full universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality, previously unknown false belief, page 1 equality. But finally, thankfully, we have a solution. Thank the universe. We got S-cubed methodology now. We achieve page 1 visibility, and we become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. So it's our micro universe here. Now we're going to check out my results using S-cubed methodology. So I wanted to rank for the keyword BLCS boudoir. So I went and I used S-cubed methodology, social search saturation. And see, organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I did this in 10 days, went from 0 out of 10 slots Google page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots Google page 1. And this was purely using our S-cubed methodology. All right, now on to our main event. We got, we're going to see if this boudoir photography business, we're going to see if for its local and for its city searches, see if it has, basically see if it has, copy that. Basically, we're going to see if it has BSS for these searches. All right, so here we go. We got our local search here, Haymarket, Virginia. So going down to the organics. All right, boom, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. Let's see. Those don't count. And boom, we got 4. Boom, we got 5. Boom, we got 6. All right, so dude, awesome. This is really good. So we do not have BSS with this local search, and also we have achieved the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 Google page 1 slots. So really good for local. Then we're gonna look at the DMV, the city search. So let's see what we got here. Now DMV is kind of like a region, so actually gonna be more competitive than the standard city search. All right, we got 0 out of 10, but it's yeah, it's even harder to rank for than the standard city search. So 0 out of 10. So yeah, we do got BSS for the the city or region search here, DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and we're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for that one, but that's a way harder one to rank for. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've already went and done local search or city search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you got either 0 1 slots page 1 on Google, or you have now met the minimum GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google, and you understand the false belief of page 1 equality now is exactly that, a false belief. It's made up. It's not true. No need to auto-believe it. You're seeing that Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to take, as we want to put in the effort to take. And you're seeing, okay, S-cubed methodology is the only solution forward, and it is the best solution for me. You've been waiting for something like this, because with Google PPC ads, at most you're getting one extra position, even if they got 4 or 5 slots available. And the momentum for those dies once you stop paying for the ads. But with S-cubed methodology, there is momentum with it. Not permanent, but there is way more momentum with it. With not infinite momentum, but there's way more momentum than momentum going to 0 when you stop spending on ads. You can take way more slots page 1 on Google. So taking all these initial benefits, new basically new more page 1 slots, kicking. You actually really like kicking competing with boudoir photographers off page 1, relegating them to the dustbin of page 2 or deeper, making them disappear with boudoir photographers, and eventually their entire business disappear. And you understand the market saturation stuff. Over time, people get new gear, become boudoir photographers, and but you're looking ahead and you're seeing, man, AI is taking people's jobs right now, and it's only going to take more and more people's jobs into the future. And as a result, you are you're seeing, wow, way more boudoir photographers going to be entering the market in the future than any time in the past, because way more people are going to be losing their jobs compared to COVID. And you're basically like, you realize you got to like fortify your position on page one. You got to have like backup links to your current page one links that are dominating as many slots as possible on page one, then backup links to those backup links. So you're like backed up all the way to page 2, 3, and 4 with all your links. Basically guarantee no current boudoir photographers can ever rank page one, nor any future boudoir photographers of peeps who lost their jobs due to AI can rank on page one. And you realize then, you got to fortify, kind of like fortifying the levees in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is underneath, below sea level. So you got to fortify it from the ocean. So you're realizing you got to fortify it, and you're saying, okay, the only solution that can do that as well is still S-cubed methodology. And you want to achieve page one visibility to become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. And you want all these things because you are, you need them on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also understanding the real back-end stuff, and you're liking the future benefits of utilizing S-cubed methodology now, which we have not talked about yet. But basically, every single day we execute S-cubed methodology, we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns around our business, kind of like plugged into our business, like the columns of the Parthenon in Athens, Greece, or the columns, or like hub and spoke of the center of a bicycle tire. And with all these invisible thematic keyword columns, it actually builds up AI mindshare in the back end. So every single day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, we increase the probability of being shown here, AI overview. Premium, dude, super premium placement. Cannot buy this placement with ads, and it is 100% organic. Would be the only one served there. Basically the only one found there. And we'd be having those slots for ourselves. So once you're seeing that, you are saying, oh yeah, you want that feature benefit as well, and you actually want the other feature benefit, which is we're increasing the probability. AI search actually recommends us with the standard AI search apps like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. And you know that every day successfully executing these things, higher chance gets shown up in AI search, which you want because way, way, way more peeps utilizing AI search every single day. I know last time I searched for a boudoir photographer in a city, I looked for a few. And I did with ChatGPT, and dude, it recommended me 3 in the ChatGPT search. And when I went to search on Google or Facebook, like manually, dude, there's like 60. I was like, dude, we got to find a way to get in this AI search, and S-cubed methodology can provide that. Obviously, like the benefit of estimated benefit of creating a known brand approximately 8x faster than any other strategy, because we're on so many more surfaces with such a higher frequency than everyone else. And you're also liking that you can get all these benefits, and you understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you decide to become a first mover in your city to kind of lock yourself into use it, prevent all your other boudoir photographer competitors in your city from using it, and kind of get all these benefits, get all the links on page one, kick out your competitors page one, get the back-end AI mindshare going, build up such a massive gap between you and all your current competitors and any future competitors coming from losing their job due to AI that will be entering the market as boudoir photographers, that you can, basically the gap will be so large, essentially nobody can ever catch you. And conversely, on the flip side, you understand that if one of your boudoir photographer competitors signs on with me first, then they're getting all those benefits. You're getting kicked off page one. You may even kick off page 2. Maybe we kick you out page 3 or 4. And your competitors taking all those links, all those slots. You are actually, and your competitor, me and your competitor are building that AI mindshare on the back end. They're building their brand approximately 8x faster than any other strategy out there. Higher chance they're getting shown AI overview, higher chance getting shown AI search, being way, way, way more known and freezing you out. And for you to compete, you'd actually rederive successfully S-cubed methodology. And I mean, you've never derived it in the first place, so how could you ever be 100% confident you've derived it correctly? And then you'd have to equal our execution every single day. But if you did that, you'd simply maintain the gap, meaning your competitor would have already gained on you. And you'd actually have to, 2 to 3x our output every single day in order to close that gap. But you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly, so you don't even want to do the 2 to 3x effort every single day, because you don't even know if you're putting the effort in the right way. And also, who's got the 80 hours to do that much work every single day? So after hearing all that, you decide to be the first mover. Just don't want to miss out on this opportunity. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients, but when the hospital does open to new patients, shoot us a DM, and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.